So have you thought about maybe now it's time for you to write a book, or maybe you would like to write a book and become an author, published author, maybe even a best-selling author, because maybe you're realizing that it would have a huge impact on your success, on your business, but now you're feeling like, I don't know how to make this happen. I just don't have the time to write a book. There's just so much I need to do, maybe in my household, with my family, in my business, and I just don't have no time extra left over to focus on writing a book. If that's the case, I mean, for one, I hope you watched the previous video that I released a couple of days ago about not feeling like a writer. So this is the second video in this little writing a book video series that I'm doing for around EFT, and that can help you really write a book. But if you're really feeling like you just don't have time to write a book, let me tell you, even if you're just writing for maybe 15-30 minutes a day, just writing a couple pages here and there on your book, it can go a long way. Because, and even if, let's say, in the evening you're watching TV, you can cut back on that, to really dedicate some time to writing your book. And like I said, you can, if what I did, I actually wrote my book within, I think it was 6 weeks from the day I decided to write my book to releasing my book. And it was a pretty good sized book. It's about 200 pages. So, but I wrote it within 6 weeks and published it. But I really spent a lot of time writing. I just, locked myself in my room basically, and I was writing like nonstop basically. But if you don't have that time, that is completely fine. But if you really have the desire to write a book, you can find the time. And like I said, you can, instead of watching TV in the evening or on the weekends, take some time and write your book. Or if you're doing something else, usually in the evening, that you could maybe cut out for a couple of weeks until you have written your book, just do that. One of the things that I had to do was, like, I mean, my son, I asked him, like, hey, can you give me some time so I can just write my book? And then he just watched TV, went into his room, and he gave me that time. But, of course, I had to ask him, can you please, I had to talk to him and let him know that this is really important for me. And if you really want to write a book, just go for it. Make the time. If it's important for you, you will be able to find the time. Okay. And like I said, even if you're just writing a few minutes here and there, or a few pages here and there, you don't have to write, chapter after chapter, just sit there for hours in front of your computer or, paper and write your book. Just make a few minutes here and there, make some time for a few minutes here and there, and it might take a little longer, but you will be able to write your book. Okay. But today in this EFT video, what I want to do is really help you release the negative feeling that you have around, I simply have no time to write a book. So maybe that will make it easier for you to really make the time, find the time, and really feel good about it. Okay. So let's get tapping. Okay. Even though I don't have time to write a book, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't have time to write a book, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I really don't have time to write a book, there's so much I need to do, or things that I need to take care of. There is simply no time left to focus on writing a book. I'm already stretched so thin, and adding just one more thing to my already full plate seems impossible. I honor how I feel, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyways. I don't have time to write a book. There is just no time. I'm already spread so thin. I can't possibly add anything else to my already full plate. Anytime I try to do something for myself, or try to write a few pages, I get interrupted. Or I remember I need to do something else. There are just so many things that I need to do. Things that I'm responsible for. There's just no time to write a book. I would like to find the time, because in a way it is important to me to write my book. I just can't seem to make it happen. All these reasons why I don't have time to write a book. Maybe right now is just not the right time. But maybe that's just my limited thinking. That I'm only seeing all the time that I'm just too busy. Or maybe it's fear that is holding me back. Fears around writing a book. And the fears of possibly being rejected once my book is out there. So maybe my lack of time is just an excuse. To stay safe within my comfort zone. I choose to release this fear now. Releasing any worries or feeling of overwhelm. Releasing it at a cellular level. Uncreate and destroy these fears. And instead, I choose to make time. Even if it's just 15 or maybe 30 minutes a day. Because even a short time a day will get me closer to finish my book. And what's that saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And if I write one piece of my book at a time, eventually I will be able to finish my book. And even if I stop watching TV for a while, or stop doing something that's really not that important, and instead take some time to focus on writing my book. It doesn't have to be hours each and every day, but maybe I can find 15 minutes a day. And sometimes maybe 30 minutes a day. I can take it one step at a time. But I choose to make that time for myself. Because writing my book is important to me. Or otherwise, I would not be here trying this tapping thing. I choose to take things one step at a time. And choose to find the time to write each day. Because I deserve to share my story and my wisdom with the world. And so it is. Okay. Now take a deep breath. And release. Okay. Like I mentioned, I mean, you don't have to write hours each day. You know, if you just take a little bit time, and even if it's maybe getting up a little early in the morning to write, or maybe if you're still working, or if you take a lunch break, you know, you can write. You know, you can make that time. If it's really that important to you, you can find the time to write your book. Okay. And like I mentioned within the tapping, sometimes it could also be that it's the fear of being out there, being seen, that can really hold you back. So hopefully, you know, this was helpful. Hopefully I was able to help you release some of that negative feeling that you have about that there's just no time to write your book. And you know, hopefully you will start writing your book, because like I said, there's so many people out there that are just waiting to hear your story, waiting to learn from you, to hear your wisdom. Okay, so go out there, share your message, share your story. Okay, see you in the next video.